So today I'm working on this Chevrolet 5.7 liter V8, and I've assembled the motor. I've put the heads on and torqued them down, and I'm at the point now where I want to test the oil pump, and I want to make sure that oil is flowing through all the lifters, and also I want to test the oil pressure sending unit, because there was a comment that they weren't seeing oil pressure before. So I've got a ohm meter hooked up to the oil pressure sending unit. There's only one pin, one connection inside the connector here, and so the other signal, it's a signal referencing ground. So I've got my black lead connected to ground, and the red lead is on pin 1. There's only one pin there, and right now with no oil pressure, it's reading 1.3 ohms. And so I've got this device I made that is going to drive the oil pump, and I'll show you a little bit about that. This is the distributor that would be in that hole there, and what I did, I just designed this piece here and printed it in 3D, so it's a bushing there, and I put a lip on it so it won't fall down in the engine. And the other thing I did, you can see on the distributor here, the shaft has a slot and a circle around it, a cone, and this goes down and drives the oil pump shaft. And so what I did, I just replicated this part so I could drive the oil pump. And the way I did it, I took I've got a piece of aluminum here that I happened to find, and it sleeves in real nicely into this fiberglass. And I'll show you the part number of the fiberglass tubing. It's right there, and I'm pretty sure this came from McMaster Car, and it's just left over from some project many years ago. And it has the dimensions on there too. I think you can see that. If not, if you enter in that number, you'll see exactly what this is. And this aluminum tubing, I'm not sure where this came from, or this aluminum rod. It's kind of odd. It's the size is a little weird. It's 12.64 millimeters in diameter. It's kind of undersized, and for me it was very convenient, because all I had to do was file down two sides of this bar here to make a flat drive, and I made it so it goes down in and drives the oil pump. And so so this bushing here, I just designed that in 3D and printed it, and so that just helps hold everything in alignment. And so right now I'm going to run the drive, run this driver here, and it's supposed to go in a clockwise direction. That's the way the normal rotation is for the distributor. And when I do that, hopefully we're going to see a change on the reading and the resistance. And I'm also going to be looking to make sure that I get oil coming up through all these lifters here. And there will be some coming up out of there too, I think. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to turn it real slow. So turning it really slow, I see the reading goes to 21 ohms, and there's oil coming up out of around that thing there, the bushing, and I can see oil coming up through all these lifters. And so that's a good test. I feel good about the oil pumps. Is new. I wanted to make sure it was going to prime and work. It does. And I also know that my sending unit is sending out a signal. And I also see oil coming out of the lifter. So everything's looking good. And I'm going to continue on the process of building the motor. The next thing I'm going to do is test. There's a spider injection system that goes down over the intake here. And it has 8 injectors. And I want to test that and make sure that each injector is outputting the very much what it should. And so I've got a circuit that drives all of the injectors one at a time, and I can measure how much fuel they deliver for a certain amount of time, and then I can compare that and make sure that all of the injectors are pulling their weight. And because before I had a exhaust valve on this number 8 cylinder, it stuck. The exhaust valve stuck, and so it could be because it was running lean on the number 8 or some other reason. But so I'm going to be looking very closely at the number 8 injector to see what could have happened. Also, I noticed this head here has got markings on it, so it came from a salvage yard, and so this head's been replaced at some point. So it could have had a problem from way back then. I don't know, for when they put this, redid this head. I don't know. And I'll show you what I've got here. This is something I made. It replicates the drive of the distributor. It's got a slot there, and this little fiberglass tube just helps hold it centered in the drive shaft. And this is just a 3D printed bushing that allows this to spin.